It's Saturday in Tryon, North Carolina, and we've had a wonderful time this week with our grandgirls and enjoyed playing with them with games and swimming and doing all kinds of things. And for all my friends in Florida, I just want you to know that today's high was about 75 degrees. A nice cool breeze, sunny day, gorgeous day for swimming and boating. And I know that you're envious because you've got that high humidity and high temperatures down there. But it has been gorgeous up here, and I wish you were here with me to enjoy it. And January or February, you can say the same thing to me as our snow is falling and there's ice on the roads. The book of Hebrews, written around AD 64, has three parts: the majesty of Jesus, the ministry of Jesus, and ministers. Now, when we take a look at this book, if you're going to study it, you need to understand that you have to also study the Old Testament because it has so many references back to the Old Testament. And here Jesus is said to be better than the prophets, better than the angels, and better than Abraham or Moses. In chapter 3 in particular, we see the fact that we have been called by a heavenly call. And we see that Moses was faithful to the house of Israel, but Jesus was faithful as the son over his house, and we are of his house. Now there's a warning in chapter 3, verses 7 through 19. That warning is pretty clear. It says, the Holy Spirit says today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Somehow my picture is going away here. I don't know what's going to happen when I play it back, but if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as the people of Israel did in the wilderness, and did not get to enter into the land. But if you harden your hearts against Jesus, the consequences are far greater than not entering into the promised land. So as a comparison, let's compare Moses and Jesus. Moses was a man of God. Jesus was God-man. Moses was faithful to the house of Israel. Jesus is the owner and the builder of the house of God. Moses offered a covenant of law. Jesus offered a covenant of grace. Moses delivered the Israelites from Egypt, while Jesus delivered us from the bondage of sin. Moses was a lawgiver. Jesus was a life giver. And Moses pointed to the Messiah. Jesus is the Messiah. Do not harden your hearts against salvation. If you've never trusted in him as Savior, do not harden your hearts against salvation. But the consequences are grave. Do not harden your hearts against sanctification or righteousness, for there is always a consequence of ignoring God's law. Tomorrow's Sunday. It's a day for us to assemble together as his people in his church. I hope that you're going to be sure that you make tomorrow Sunday a day of worship in your church. That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.